Hello everyone, Ryan here. So I watched some more episodes of Goosebumps TV show. This one includes Monster Blood 1, of course. Monster Blood is also one of my favorite Goosebumps books. Except in this one, in the TV show version, they didn't just go ahead and follow with Monster Blood 2. What they did was they made so Monster Blood 1 and then more Monster Blood, which is like a different kind of take on Monster Blood 2. Of course, Monster Blood, the first one is about this kid named Evan. He goes to stay with his aunt, Catherine. She's like pretty much his eccentric aunt. He goes to stay with her for the summer, and he finds this can of like this weird, and there's one room where it's like supposed to be off limits to him. He eventually, out of curiosity, breaks into the room, and he finds this like can of green ooze, and there's only one label on it, and it reads Monster Blood. So, and then from there, eventually, like, because he opens it up, messes around with it, then the Monster Blood starts to grow, and it gets bigger and bigger, and essentially, it's pretty much like R.L. Stein's version of the Blob, I guess you could say. Even though later on he wrote something called The Blob That Ate Everyone, and which I reviewed that episode too. But yeah, so I mean, as far as this episode, Monster Blood 1, I liked it. It was pretty decent. Granted, some of the special effects are, by today's standards, pretty terrible. But I mean, back then, you know, hey, that they did the best they could. And then more Monster Blood. Like I said, it's a different take on Monster Blood 2. This time, Evan, he's moving to Atlanta, so he's on the plane. The entire episode, more Monster Blood takes place on the plane. And yeah, the Monster Blood, somehow a small piece of it, I guess, stuck to Evan's luggage or something, and eventually it grew large enough that it was able to terrorize the entire plane. And it was pretty interesting, though. I mean, I liked it. I liked this episode as well, more Monster Blood. So then after that, the other episode is How to Kill a Monster. This girl, Gretchen and Clark. Well, Gretchen and her friend Clark, or rather, I guess, stepbrother, yeah, stepbrother. They visit her grandparents somewhere in a swamp in Louisiana or Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken. And they find out that, I guess, the grandparents inadvertently shot some weird swamp monster, and they keep it locked up in a room, and eventually, like, of course, it breaks free and starts terrorizing both Gretchen and Clark, and it was interesting, but also pretty cheesy, but still interesting. And then the last episode, the girl who cried monster, this girl named Lucy, she finds out that her librarian, Mr. Mortman, he's actually a monster. This episode is also pretty interesting mostly because of the ending. There's a pretty interesting twist ending. And so yeah, I mean, I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it, or even if you're not familiar with the story. But overall, I give each episode definite 8 out of 10. Definitely. Of course, I mean, maybe for some people it'd take them a while to get past the cheesiness of the effects and whatnot, but hey, I still liked them. So yeah, I give all 4 episodes 8 out of 10s, and that'll do it for this review. Thanks for watching. As always, till next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.